So, Grandpa, tell me a little bit about your life just growing up during the Great Depression.
My dad couldn't get a job. He did odd jobs, and he worked for a newspaper outfit which bundled papers, and he was driving a truck. He was home rather than at work. And he would go looking for work. I was a little kid at this time, so I had a very I couldn't comprehend what was going on fully, but he was laid off along with other people who were working. He was driving a truck, a newspaper delivery truck that would there was a guy in the back he was the driver, and a guy in the back would throw out the bundles of paper for the so-called kiosks where they sold them in front of subways, at the newsstands, and so on.
So, Grandpa,
Yeah.
what was it like when your sister was born and they had like another mouth to feed in your family?
I remember my mother came home from the hospital, and I had come home earlier from an orphanage because there was no one in my family who could take care of me while my dad was working or looking for work, and she had to be in the hospital for a week, 5, 6, 7 days, whatever it was. And my dad took me to an orphanage.
And do you know where this orphanage was located?
No, it was in the Bronx. All I know is that when I went in there were beds all over, and they fed us cruddy meals that were very sweet, and I was not acclimated to eating sweet foods like tapioca pudding and crud like that. I still don't like it. If it's too sweet, I will not eat it.
Do you think that has something to... Do you think that sort of... that experience kind of like led you to not eat like sweet foods in particular?
Yes. Like right now, I will not eat Dutch potato salad or coleslaw because it's sweet. My dad took me to the orphanage, and it was during the day, and then he went to work. I remember that very night, I snuck out of the orphanage. I'm not kidding you. I snuck out. I had in a bag for my clothes and whatnot. I waited until the lady who was at the door that she went out for something and whatnot, and I went through these big doors. And I went outside, and I made my way home, where I slept underneath the stairwell of the apartment house. And then my dad found me. He had apparently they had contacted him in one way or another, and he brought me back the next day, where they kept me under surveillance. I guess they had to chain me to one of the cots there. I was around 4.5, 5 years of age.
And how do you think that exactly impacted you?
It was jarring, but it was a very closely bound family, and as a child, I felt rejection, of course, but and I didn't understand that my dad had to go to work, and he was lucky to get a job, and that my mother was in the hospital. I didn't understand that. Later on, I comprehended the fact that they had no one to lend me out to.
So did you ever have to sleep over the orphanage overnight?
I slept there after they brought me back. I had to sleep there because they kept on checking me. I remember they shined a flashlight on me continuously to see that I didn't run away.
So how long were you in the orphanage for?
For at least 4 or 5 days. That's all I can recount.
Do you think...
I was still a little kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was about it.
So after the 4 or 5 days when you came back, was it...
I found my sister there. She was a baby.
She was a baby. And so then how did your family begin supporting you again so that you didn't have to return back to the orphanage? Did your mother get a job? Did she...
My mother, I had a babysitter, and who took care of my little sister. She was an infant. This was after my mother stayed home for 1 or 2 months. A babysitter came and so on, and I was going to kindergarten.
So you never really... did you ever really feel like you were...
Hungry? No.
No?
Always plenty of food.
And did you realize that like you were experiencing like a time of a Great Depression, or like
yes, because people were the neighbors would come and take dishes that my mother had prepared, etc.
So, Grandpa, how do you think the Great Depression and everything has really like impacted your life today? Like, what would you say has really rubbed off on you?
The fact that I feel that I have empathy toward people more. I realize what hard times are.
And do you trust the economy at all today?
The economy, I want to tell you, currently smells. It stinks.
Mm-hmm.
The stock market is going up, but the stock market is not a true representation of our economy. I have a feeling it's a big bubble, and it's going to take a lot of people down with it when the bubble bursts. The Great Depression made me social-minded because I saw what poverty can do to people. I remember as a youngster, I was around 1938, 39, I would go past a bar and I would see these men on a Friday night or late afternoon. They would be drinking, and it came to, I said, what the hell are they doing there? They should be home with their families. Their hard-earned money is being taken from them as they're getting drunker and drunker and drunker and drunker.
Mm-hmm.
You follow?
Yep.
And I felt, that you needed more individuals who can educate. I want to tell you, it changed me. The New Deal changed me when I saw poverty, and I saw my family in poverty. I saw my dad coming home from work, or lack of work. He would come home just frustrated that he was his boss said, I have no work for you for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, etc. I saw people on bread lines. That got to me, and so on.
And so you really think that after everything you've been through, you're quite comfortable with how your life has played out, like so far?
Yes, and I think it's the result of what I lived through as a youngster in the 1930s. The 1930s.
They really changed. It really changed it, didn't it?
It changed everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The great god of my parents was FDR.
Mm-hmm.
FDR.
Wow.
When I remember my family listening to him with his so-called talks, fireside chats, stuff like that.
Yep.
As a kid on the radio, incredible. The streets were empty. You follow what I mean? Today, the president talks on the, who listens? You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was completely different. The streets were empty. Everyone was listening on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Yeah, people were scared. What happens to this country? It was like a war.
Yeah.
War against poverty, a war against depression, a war for human dignity and stuff like that. And it had an impact on everyone.
Hey, Grandpa.
Okay, Jakey, I'm going to sign off now.
Okay, Grandpa, thank you so much.
If I can help in any other way, call me.
Okay, Grandpa, I love you.
Okay, kid, I love you. I love your mom and dad. I love Corey, and I love your little dog.
Okay, Grandpa, I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care, kiddo. You're welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.